Hi there, and welcome back to Paws and Pawsitivity. I'm Jamie Watkinson-Harvey, your certified dog trainer and host of this podcast. Whether you're out for a walk, doing the washing up, or just relaxing with your pup, I'm so glad that you're here. Today, we're tackling a question I hear all the time from dog owners dealing with separation anxiety. Is this training even possible for me? If you've been looking into separation anxiety training, you've probably come across the advice that says you should never leave your dog alone during the process. And let's be honest, if you don't have a big support system, unlimited funds for sitters, or even trustworthy pet care options nearby, it can feel like a pretty impossible task. So today, we're going to talk about what is realistic, how to handle those unavoidable moments when you have to leave your dog, and why all progress isn't lost if life throws a curveball. And hey, if you find this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with a friend or subscribe to the podcast. Your support helps us reach more dog lovers and spread the message of positive, force-free training. So let's start with the big one. Do I really have to make sure my dog is never alone during separation anxiety training? Ideally, yes. But here's the reality. Life happens. The goal of training is to teach your dog that being alone isn't scary. But that doesn't mean one slip up ruins everything. What matters most is how you manage those unavoidable situations. Now, if you have to leave your dog alone, it's all about damage control. There are a few things that can help minimize stress when you need to pop out for groceries or take care of other tasks. Things like providing enrichment, chews, licky mats, or food puzzles can help keep your dog occupied and distracted. Using calming aids such as adaptable diffusers or anxiety wraps to create a sense of security. Setting up a camera so you can monitor their responses and adjust your training plan if needed. Of course, these aren't magic fixes, but they can help to bridge the gap where you need to step out unexpectedly. Not everyone has a neighbor who can pop over or access to reliable pet sitters, especially if you live in a rural area. But that doesn't mean training is off the table. There are still ways to work around it. For example, you could look into virtual help. Some trainers and pet sitters offer virtual support to guide you through setting up a safe environment and offer real-time advice. Dog-friendly locations. You might be surprised how many local shops, garden centres, or even cafes allow dogs. It's always worth asking. Setting up a safe space at home, even if you're limited to your property. Creating a designated comfort zone can ease short separations. And if you're enjoying this episode and finding it helpful, why not take a moment to subscribe to Paws and Pawsitivity? And if you know someone dealing with separation anxiety, sharing this podcast could really help them too. Now, let's talk about a challenge that a lot of multi-dog households face. What happens when you have another dog with different needs? If your anxious dog struggles when you take your other dog outside, you're not alone. This is a common challenge, and it often takes a bit of trial and error to figure out what works best. You might try gradual desensitization. Start with very short periods apart and build up slowly. Even stepping outside for 30 seconds and returning can be progress. Teaching an alternative behaviour, a settle cue or a favourite enrichment toy can give them something to focus on while you're outside. Use sound masking. Playing calming music or white noise can help reduce the impact of outside triggers while you're out with the other dog. And remember, small wins matter. If your anxious dog can stay calm for an extra minute today than they did yesterday, that's still progress worth celebrating. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, I want you to know, yes, separation anxiety training is possible, even with obstacles like location, budget, or multiple pets. It's all about setting realistic expectations and focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't. It helps to break down things into manageable steps. Start with tiny absences, literally a few seconds, and build from there. Track progress so you can see improvements, even if they feel small. And be patient with yourself and your dog. This isn't a quick fix, and that's okay. And most importantly, know that you're not alone. There's an entire community of dog parents out there facing the same struggles, and support is available, even if it is online. So, if you're wondering whether separation anxiety training is even possible for you, I want you to take a deep breath and remember, you can do this. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress at a pace that works for you and your dog. Whether it's finding creative solutions, working in tiny increments, or simply being patient with the process, every step you take matters. And if you are looking for more support, there are some fantastic resources available online, from virtual training options to support groups full of people who get exactly what you are going through. And that's it for today's episode of Paws and Pawsitivity. I hope you're feeling a little more confident about tackling separation anxiety, even if your situation feels tricky. If you enjoyed this episode, I would genuinely love it if you could share it with a friend or subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you would like to support the show and the podcast, you can go over and visit www.pta.dog and head on over to the podcast page where you can make a donation. Your kindness helps us keep going and means the world to me. Until next time, take care and give your pup a big, extra special hug from me. Woofity woof.